make things short and concise so you don't feel very overwhelmed. I want you to capture the main thing. Now, very quick recap. Okay, last time I showed you the deployment. Okay, this is the version we're running in EC2. If you remember, we create a server, microserver, we install the operating system, we install the Python packages, and then we push the code to GitHub repository. So and inside the server, we actually clone the repository and run it. Okay, just a quick recap. I'm gonna connect the server, get into the server again. If you remember, and this is the terminal we are using, and here is a project. So it's the same repository right here. This is actually a GitHub project. Okay, so that's where we get a code from the repository to the server. And then we just run the server, we do a Python command, and we do a no hoop, all the things. Okay, so that's where we were. And then this is the version you see here from live. Okay. At this point, if you can have the similar version, that's a very big milestone because you eventually have something that can be publicly accessible. So today, what I want to show you is that once you set up this is great, but this is not done yet. Okay, we're gonna make more changes, and then different members are gonna push more features, and then, but every time you make a change, you have to deploy that one to here because we told you for IDRO, we want you to show this to the users so they get a feedback. But how can we make this whole cycle faster? Okay, so that whole process is called continuous integration. So first of all, let's just demonstrate one more time how we're gonna make a change. Okay, so go back to the code. This is the source code. All right. And then right now, I just want to make sure everything's working. So Python budget lunch with local DB. Python run this one, runs on the port. I go here, and this is the local version. Okay, let's say I want to make some changes, and I will say that what to change. So wait, I remember I did some footer things. Is this for this project or is for different ones? Yeah, this one has it. Okay, so maybe this one I don't have the latest version. Okay, let me actually sync up the code. Okay, so git pull dash dash rebase. All right, so let me run this again. All right, refresh. Okay, that's the latest code. All right, so let's see what else to add. Okay, so any suggestions? I honestly think this is really good. What else to add? Or maybe just add a section to showcase some of the good brandings. Okay, so I'm gonna just use AI to do it. I'll go to the index. Okay, I'll say that add another section to showcase the famous and popular food brand that you can choose. All right, so let's see. Assume that someone is gonna make this code change. All right, they got this index file, and then add all the changes. So they change the homepage and also the CSS file. All right, so they add a lot of things right here. Okay, so it looks like this is done. I'm gonna keep all the changes. I go back here, I refresh it. Right here. Yep. So they add all the little things and they don't have logos, but this is fun. Okay, so really good. That's exactly what we want. But this is the local version. Okay, now I'm done with the change. Okay, now let's think about the flow. Okay, if you test it, everything's good. Number one, we need to push this one to GitHub. Git add, git commit, add it, food showcase section and git push. All right, so everything go to the repository. So go back to the repository. You want to make sure that you got the latest change right here. Very good. Okay, now we need to deploy this one because right now the public server doesn't have that latest change. Okay, it's the old page. So we go to here and let's think about what we need to do. Okay, so this is the repository. So we do git pull dash dash rebase. All right, got all the changes. Now we're gonna rerun it. But when you rerun it, you also need to, for example, I think we need a virtual environment. You can't just do the Python like a budget lunch and local DB, right? And then you gotta do a like virtual environment from scratch. So source, uh, activate, all right, and that has all the libraries. And sometimes if you want to be safe, you do a pip, install dash requirement just in case you install some new libraries. Okay, just install everything. Oh, dash R. All right, so everything's fine. And then finally you run Python. Okay, and then let's see budget launch local DB. Okay, you run this one. And I think you need to use the Python 3. I can't remember what we did last time. Okay, let's do Python 3 or Python 3.12. That's what we did last time. Um, no, let me do a pip. Yeah, this part is very confusing. Okay, we installed that and Python 3. We should already have everything installed. Hmm. Okay, let me try. Okay, so we should still have the thing running. So see, it's running here, and we actually use Python to run it. We don't have Flask? That's so weird. Okay, let me try see the requirements. Okay. Okay, so this one doesn't look like they have Flask. Oh, they do. They do have this one here. Okay, so pip install dash R requirements. So they do need a Python, high version of the Python. And I thought we fixed this one. What if we do 3.12? Hmm. All right, let's go here. This is well, I thought that's the purpose of the environment, virtual environment. We already got things installed. Okay, so why we still need to do this one and all right, so let's see. I saw we fixed the version to be 12, right? Okay, so it's still 3.9. I remember it was suggested to be the 12. Okay. Oh, when we go to the environment, we need to do that one. Um, wait, let me check. Yeah. So we have an environment that uses the Python 3.12. We do source. I think that's what we did. So yeah, this one still use 3.9. I thought we did that for, okay, well, let's actually redo this one. Okay, so let me follow this one here. We're gonna deactivate. All right, we deactivate that one. And then we're gonna install this one with 3.12. We create this new virtual environment. Okay. And then we go there and we do all the pip install everything. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Up, it's called update pip, and then do this one. No such a file. Oh, right. I'm pretty sure we did this one last time. Why it's not saved? All right, now if we do Python, project launch, local db. Yeah, so then this is working because the address is already there. Okay, but why this virtual environment is not saving it? Okay, so I wanna make sure we got this whole thing is right. I'm actually very worried that if we come back again, um, let me try to show this one. So so this is working, but I see the Pi virtual environment CFG file has the following version of Python 3.9. Is this that? All right, so I think we will definitely need to edit this one a little bit. Okay, so um, okay, so we're gonna use this one here. I'm gonna change it. Right? All right, so let's do this. I'm gonna make sure this one's working. Okay, so I'll go back and just connect this again. Relog in. And same thing here. So if we just do Python, this is not gonna work because we don't have all the dependencies. All right, this is not gonna work. So we're gonna do the virtual environment. Activate. Once we activate it, this one is supposed to be working because we already installed all the things. Do we need to reinstall this again? that's how the pip works? This is very confused. Yeah, it still falls back, even though we got this right version here. Okay. Um, Let me check if I missed anything. Okay, so um, the terminal, and then logging back and run source. You Yeah, that should be right. Okay, so the Python version. Oh, maybe it's because the Python version defaulted to be this one, so it's not using it. Um, okay, so how let me see this one. Like how to make the system default Python to be 3.12 to which one we're using? 12.11. Okay, so we're gonna provide both, and then we should be able to configure it using this command. Hopefully that works. Yeah, so we're gonna do one Python dash version. So now it's good. All right. So let's re-log in, see if that works. Okay, I just want to clarify what's going on here. If you ever use Python, you just be careful because this is a kind of a downside about Python. Okay, so we still need to go to this one is the case. And let's see, any luck. So we go to the budget, go to source, um, virtual environment, activate. All right, and then let's see the Python version here. It's default to be 12. And then if we run this one, and Is that still gonna compile? Yeah, so now it's good. Okay, so somehow the system Python version is wrong. Then when we are opening that virtual environment, it's just wrong. Okay, but that's not expected. It was cost us 15 minutes to fix it, but now we're good. Okay. However, I want to show you the operation side of doing this one. So every time you make a change, there are a lot of things you have to redo it. Okay. So now we pull the changes. If you remember, we did a get pull dash dash rebase, and then we're gonna run this one. Okay. But this is because it's not it's being running there. So we have to queue the process. I told you about this to find out that Python process, which is this, and I'm going to do sudo q -9 and the process number. And now if you go to here, this is no longer working because you stopped this process. Then we run this again, and then you go here, refresh, your change is live. Okay, that's a new change we brought from local to host. But I did tell you that a better way to run this is called no hoop. Okay, and then Python budget local pi, and then I think I did this log thing, and now turn that into a background, something like this. Okay, so that's a better way to run this one. Okay, but yeah, so this one should be still working. All right. So this whole flow, okay, from a code change to push to GitHub and then deploy that and install all the dependencies, rerun it, queue the server, rerun it. That's a lot of things. This one, honestly, once you know how to do it, it's from now on, it's not too difficult. But in practice, in the big companies, their whole deployment process is way more difficult than this one, more complicated. And the build process takes a long time, and then deploying that one takes even longer, and there's more configuration step you have to do. Okay, if you do this one very often, that's fine. But normally you have a teammates that are not familiar with this process. How can you make sure everyone is pushing code very quickly and to be able to roll their changes to the public? So we want to automate the whole thing. Ideally is that you make some changes and all of a sudden once you push it, it just automatically goes to the line. You don't have to deal with all this command I was just playing around with. Okay, obviously that's possible. The way to do this is that you have to use some kind of way to automate the whole thing. Okay. So let's try this. All right. Now, first of all, as you can see, once you have a change, okay, you should think about that whole process. Okay, I'll go here, I will write it down. No, let me actually write it down somewhere else as a note. Notes. Okay, so number one, okay, we push the change. Number two, log in to the server. Once we log into the server, okay, pull the latest change from GitHub. Okay, we want to get into the virtual environment. And then we do pip install all the dependencies. Just make sure you brought new dependencies. Okay, and then queue the running Python process, and then rerun the server with no hope and in background. These are steps. Okay, so what we want to do is that we want to really automate this step. So once you go to server, you can run something quickly and then run the whole thing. It does that for you. That's really good. Right. So what you can do is you can write a script to do all of this, to put all the commands together. Okay, so now I think this one can be done a lot easier. I would just go to open the Python. Sorry, let go AI to do it. So I need to write a deployment script that can be triggered in EC2 that does the following things. Okay, so let me just write it down here. I'll just write down this. I don't want to go with this. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, since they want to do this one, we'll do this. All right, so let's actually see what they can come up with. So we basically need to have a kind of a script file that combines all the command together and then run it. Okay, so we'll see if they can get us there. So they're going to create a new file. Okay, so this is a lot more complicated. Okay. Well, let's just try to understand what's going on here. So this is a script. Okay. They even have a color code for this one, very professional. And they configure all the directory, everything, and they have a lot of output stuff. Now here is the put the latest changes. Um, yeah, that's basically expected and successful or not. And then we active the virtual environment. Okay, so you do this one, they do Python, and then you actually run this one. That's what we did before, and you install the dependency. They do a lot of this output things, okay, just to make it more professional. And then here is where you queue the whole process, okay, and then here is you run the new one, and let's find the commands. So no hook, Python 3, and all of this stuff. Okay. All right. So this is a pretty comprehensive. Okay. So they have a manager script. What does the manager script does? Okay. Looks like this is just a kind of a, yeah, for you to check the status of machine and everything. We'll keep them. Okay. This is more than I saw. But I think this one should be working. And let me see the root directory here. Okay. The directory should be, oh, we have to provide that one from the command. Okay. All right. Sound good. Let's just try this one. I'm gonna push this script here, and then let's just test it in the local machine. Actually, we can just test it locally here to see if that works. Okay, so what I want to do is that we just come here. Okay, okay. So we're gonna run this deploy script. All right. Well, this is actually pretty good. Okay. As you can see, they followed all the steps, and then this is actually very professional. Okay. So they basically follow all the steps here, put the changes, and activate and install the dependencies, and then queue the old one and start the new ones. Okay. Let's see that if the new one is starting, it should be a local host right here. Yeah. So this one is working. So they do actually restart it. Okay. So this is pretty good. Okay. I'm gonna push this one first. Okay. All right, so we got all the things here. Okay, so I'm gonna test this. So I go to my server and get status, get pool dash dash rebase. All right, so see we got all the script right here. And let's see how we can trigger this. Okay, so we are going to, if we just run deploy right here, okay, and it does the same thing, get environment, and then starting in the background. Looks like it's working. All right, so we can go here to verify this is working. Okay, but you can't really tell if the changes can be picked up. Let's actually make a quick change again. So right here, I'm gonna still do just to make a quick friend end change. Okay, so the friend end is right here. So I will say that just do some more polishing to the UI. Okay, doesn't matter. We just want to improve the UI. Okay, so they're gonna work on this one. So that whole script today, I think you can write it pretty easily. Okay, but in the old days, that part is a pain. Okay, it's a lot of time to test. But now with AI, this can be done really well. But the key is that you need to know what you need to do. Okay, you need to know the steps. Okay, queue the server, restart it, all of these things. You got to know the tasks. All right. All right. So it looks like they're gonna make some big changes. Okay. So mostly on the CSS file changes. Yeah, I think they did something. You see, I think they did this animation here. Pretty good. I don't know what else. Oh wait, no, they haven't touched the HTML page yet. So I see. All right. How many of you are using Cursor right now or other tools? Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know exactly what they changed. I think they made the font a little bit bigger. This animation, it looks like it's new. I see here. Yeah, see, they don't have animation, so they add those. Okay, pretty good. All right, so it looks like they're done. Okay, so I'm gonna try this one. So again, this time I'm trying to test my script. Okay, add everything, UI, polishing, and push. Once we push it, so this time things get easier. Okay, I'm in the server. All I need to do is actually I can even try this. I'll get out of the server. I'll re-log in. Okay. What I really need to do is that I think I just need to get into here. All I need to do is run this one command called deploy. I run everything. So remember right now, this is still the old version. Okay. And yeah, and then I'm gonna run this one command. Hopefully this is gonna take care of everything. So get all the changes, rerun the virtual environment, and then kill the old one, do the new ones, everything's done. We'll come back here, refresh. Yeah, see this one got it. All right, so that's the new UI we apply. It looks like everything has been taken care of. See, this one is already a huge improvement. Okay, all you need to do is run the command. Okay, but this command has no magic. It just include all the command I was typing and put them together. But writing this command to this level is very difficult. I can't do it. I can only do it like a very basic, like a naive version. But that script they wrote is called a bash command, bash script. They make it very professional. A lot of this output, that's why you see all the color stuff. It's all coming from that script. But anyway, AI can help us generate it. So this is already a big improvement. Let's think about now you can tell your teammates, log in, run that command, you're done. And now you push it. Okay? But this is not the end version. We want even better. Why do I bother everyone to go to log in the server? It's not very secure, okay? Ideally, every developer only deal with the code change. What if I do something that you just do your change locally, you test it here, and then the moment you do get a push, the rest are all taken care of. You don't even worry about the server, login, run the script, everything. It's all taken care of. Okay, so we want to connect that last part. So the way to do this one is that if you go to GitHub and they have a new thing called GitHub Actions. This is the kind of feature they added maybe 3 or 4 years ago, or maybe 5 years ago. And then the action here means that you can connect some extra plugins, functionalities with your code base. If something is changed in your code base, you can trigger some of the action to do it. For example, I can trigger a deployment. I can trigger a login to the EC2 and then run that command I just specified. So anytime you push something, you go here and that does the job. So what happened here is you can try to they have a lot of template for you to do the tons of things. Okay, so let me try to search something for EC2. Okay, so deploy to Amazon EC2. Whatever you choose the template. Okay, so they just gave you a kind of a file for you to use. Like here, they generate a workflow file called AWS. This one here, and they are going to use this one to basically configure a lot of things. There are different steps, and then run the command. Okay, so now normally this part is very time consuming. I got to test the template. I have an old video you can watch. A test template, carefully figure out the parameters, everything. But now with AI, I think this script can be done very easily. Okay, so I'm gonna try it. I haven't tried this one yet. Okay, so now I need to configure a GitHub Actions to automatically deploy the change. The actions should be doing the following things. One, log in to my EC2 server at this one here. I gotta provide a name. With the username EC2-user. I have the key, and let me know how to configure the key in GitHub. Two, go to the root, the folder at here, the folder name. Okay. And run the script called deploy. That's it. That's what we need the GitHub action to do. Log into the server, go to the folder, run the command. Okay, but then they can configure this one from from that GitHub actions. Okay, let's try this. So they're gonna create a workflow file. This is the most important part, just that YAML file. Okay, that's the one that needed by the GitHub action. This one. This is just a template. I'm not gonna even look at this one because I want AI to create one for us. Hopefully that's gonna work. Okay. And then you can search for a lot of different things. They tell you what to do for the GitHub action because this is very hard to write. You just look at the samples, templates, and replace the information with yours. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like they finished it. Okay, see. It's right here. Okay. Let's quickly take a look at what they did. Okay, so right here, they have this name called deploy to EC2. Whenever you push something to the main branch, this action is going to be triggered. And you're going to run some jobs. Okay, the first one is called deploy. And it's going to run on the Ubuntu latest. That's just some default environment the GitHub action is using. There's some steps. First of all, check out the code. Okay, they got to check out the code. And then they are going to SSH to the server. Okay, so you need to provide a key, and we'll look at how we're going to do the key. That's the server name I provided. And then they ask you to deploy to the server. So SSH go there, and then you go to the folder, and then just run the command. Okay, and you also check the status. If it's failed, and show it. Very nice, clean, you know, kind of a configuration. All right, so they're still doing more things. I don't know. And then they also told me some of the things I need to do. So for example, I got to add the key stuff all into the EC2. Okay, copy your EC2 private key and copy it. And then I need to go to GitHub repository setup. Yeah, that's the thing I remember I need to do. Okay, let's try that one. So I'm gonna just show this one. Oh yeah, my key is called a CS. This one here. Yeah, this one. I gotta copy everything. Actually, I will use that command to copy it. I never use this one. All right, so I copy that one. So I go to GitHub repository settings and secret. So I go to here, settings. I won't need this one anymore. All right, so I go to settings and it's called a secrets variables for actions. And then a new repository secret. And I'll put this one here, and the name would be called a EC2 SSH key. Otherwise, your GitHub won't have the access to it, right? So I'm going to add the key because this key will be needed in this script right here. I think that's where they're going to find the key. And with that, they can actually have the permission to log in. And here they verify if this one is working, this is all done. And these are all fine. And commit and push. Yeah, that should be good to go. All right. So I'm going to keep everything. This one is finished. All I need to do right now is to add everything to my repository. So that will help us to set up the whole GitHub actions. Okay, let's try this. I'm going to push this one. Okay, now this GitHub repository has an action configured. So if you go here, as you can see, now it's automatically start run something. I push something, they're gonna run this one. And then if you click on this one, you should be able to see some of the status and logs. Okay, see, they're running this one. They're trying to deploy to EC2, and then they run all the command stuff and deploy thing. Everything is working. It looks like this is successful. Okay. So before we test this one, just to clarify, so what we just did was a GitHub action that connects to your GitHub repository. Whenever you push something to the main branch, that action will be triggered. The action has a job. The job has different steps. And what the steps does is that it goes to here to take a look at the code, log into your SSH to EC2, run that command. It's exactly what I did today earlier. Okay, basic login, open the terminal, run all the different commands one by one, and go check and do all this. But then this one just put everything together into one little script. Okay. Now with this, you finish that continuous integrated cycle. So let me show you the effects. So from now on, I don't need to open anything. Okay, I don't want to go here. I'm gonna close this one. This is the latest version, still working. Okay, I'm gonna make some changes. This time I'm gonna just pick some small changes. Okay, otherwise too much. So find your perfect budget lunch. Okay, I don't like this slogan. So let's. Oh wait. So this is not done. Okay, so it's still working on this one. Oh, they want to show a visual diagram to show me everything. Okay, that's very thoughtful. All right, we're gonna watch the diagram. Hopefully, that explains some things. Honestly, as a developer, by doing all of this, because I do this one every single year since 2014. 2014, we told everyone to use some of the tools called Jenkins, which is a continuous integration tool. I mostly work with Java. And in the middle, there's some new services. One of them called Circle. It's called Circle CI. That makes this thing a little bit easier. And then a couple of years later, around 2020, GitHub Action shows up. We realized this one is better to integrate because previously you had to sign up a different service where you did GitHub Actions. But GitHub Actions is very hard to use. That little action thing, the YAML file, I don't know how to do it. I have to literally spend 2, 3 hours before the class to test everything so I know what to do, and I will show the same thing to you guys. And now with AI, you just they generate. It's one time thing. It's all working. I don't even have a bug. But it looks easy. However, it's really easy for me because I know what I need to do. Okay. Well, that's why now you got to feel that you want to focus a little bit more things when you do software engineering. Um, you really want to make sure you understand the major concept I'm showing you, the agile development, the steps, what to do for the testing, when do you need to do the testing, what do I mean by deployment, how do you manage all the different things, script, all the things, the concept, the flow, the high level things, you got to know it. But in terms of how do we actually write those one, I think the AI will actually jump in perfect. Okay. At least for the short term, that's how the industry will look like. Okay, so that's why if you don't know any of those, I'll give you the cursor. You don't know what to do. Okay, you don't even know there's a concept called continuous integration. You don't even know this one can be actually automated. Okay, so how do I see this one? Honestly, it's a little bit disappointing because this stuff previously, if I can manually do it, that means a lot. Okay, but now, you know, allow you to know the concept, you can do the same thing. But I'm 40 years old. I wrote software for a long time, but you guys still very young, and you can get to the same level as long as you know those concepts. I saw an article recently. I forgot where the source, but they mentioned something like the AI actually will make the Ivy League students less valuable. I kind of agree because we have to say that the guys from MIT probably okay they're probably you know more talented than average people, but now it doesn't matter too much. Okay, as long as you know the goals, the major steps, well, we can all accomplish the same thing. Okay, so it looks like this is done. Then they got a flow. Okay, this is the flow you can watch. Okay, but pretty much good summary on everything. However, I'm gonna make a change for this case. Okay, um, give me. I'll just make a change. Give me much better slogan for this app uh, used in this file. Okay. So they will basically read the file, figure out the slogan being used right now, and then we'll get something else. Oh, they actually asked us to choose, right? To talk recommendations. I'll go with let's see. Eat well, sleep less. Okay, this looks like a good one. I'll do this one. All right, so they make a change. So as a developer, what I need to do is just to verify, okay? Just to verify. Yeah, I don't. Okay, I'll just say run this locally to test, for me to test. All right, they will see the port is used and then just oh, I think this the cursor is sometimes it's not very stable. Oh, this is a different port. Mm. All right, let's try this one. Um, where is the slogan? Where? Wait, this is not a right version. This is the old version. So let's try this one. Okay, we're gonna run this again. Yeah, we don't see that one is being used. Hmm. But then this one is not even updated. Yeah, this is a new version. Okay, I think this is wrong. Okay, so queue the process at 5002 and rerun the app locally at 5002. Okay, let's redo this one. Because a lot when the cursor is running this one, it's actually in their background, so we can't see this one clearly in the terminal. Oh, they use the budget lunch. That's the wrong one. Okay, so we we need to run budget lunch local db.py. Okay, but anyway, so I can just run this one here. Can we just stop it? All right, so now we got this version here, rerun it. Where is the slogan? What did it change? Eat well, sleep less. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Sorry, I didn't see that. Okay, well, I saw they're gonna change this one, but anyway, that was a change. Okay, so very small change, and go back to this is the production. Production has this long slogan. Okay, so you are a developer. You made the change. Everything is fine. It's working. That's great. So now is the fun part. All you need to do is okay, you test everything. I'm gonna just change it. Okay, go to okay, get status. All right, looks like we made some of the changes. It doesn't matter, but the most important change is this: get diff. This one, we just changed the slogan. Okay, so add everything, commit, updated the slogan, and then I'm gonna do git push. Okay, now once I do this one, and your job is finished, and all you need to do is go back here, just wait. Right now, this is not updated. You just have to wait, and it will automatically done. Okay, so if you go back here, you go to actions, you can see this one started update again. I didn't trigger anything. That's a part of the GitHub actions. Okay, they saw the new push, they run this whole job thing for you. The moment this is done, and you go here, refresh, and your slogan shows up. Okay, so this whole demo is called continuous integration. Okay, sometimes people call it CI/CD. I forgot what it stands for. Sometimes people call it a continuous deployment, whatever. Yeah, same concept. They're really trying to help the developers to make changes and collaboratively work together in parallel, so we don't have to worry about the deployment. The deployment operation, just like the 2 times I stuck here in the terminal, it's not an easy thing. Okay. So you don't want every developer to go there to touch it. Okay. Ideally, someone just set it up, it's done, and then the rest just focus on writing the code. Because no matter how sophisticated your server setup is, it doesn't matter to the users. The users just care about your application. Okay, we should put all the efforts on the project itself. Okay. So they days, very early days. Okay, so for the concept actually started shows up around 2012 or 13. It's not a very new thing. When I was in Amazon in 2011, at least at that time, at least at that time, they didn't do too much continuous integration. There is a concept, but not every team is picking it up. Most people are not using it. I remember one day, a Google Chrome team, a couple of engineers, actually they go to Amazon, did a demo to talk about a continuous integration. That was around 2012 or 13. Even for Chrome, okay, at that time, they actually claim that the Chrome updates things very frequently, every few days, and then they told you there's a new version. See, the version number is 138 and then point zero point. There are a lot of points. I think at the very end, this little number here, I think that corresponds to a commit change. So if someone make a commit, I think that number should be bumped up by 1. Okay, but not a major version. The major version right now is 138, right? You're not going to see that change frequently. Maybe after a while, a lot of change goes up, and then it's a big improvement, and then Google announced there's a new version number. But I think the last digit normally that correspond to a single commit. If someone made little simple change, shows up in the GitHub, that number is bump up. So what the Google engineer told us 15 years ago was that they already using continuous integration for Chrome. So which means every single time someone puts the code to the Chrome, that's going to automatically trigger the whole build process and it generate a new build for Chrome. So whoever is going to download the Chrome again, you're going to pick up that new file from their repository. Okay, so that was a very big deal because if you think about it, this project, this is a huge browser is basically as complicated as operating system. It's a really difficult software to build. In the traditional way, this type of software, you better just test it really well, make sure everything is good, and then you release a new version for people to use. But Google, 15 years ago, they were able to kind of use continuous integration. They don't care. They just let people to push, and then the new version, the users started to pick up new versions. The big benefit is that we as users, we can get all the latest change really quickly. Okay, but you see the downside is that how about the risks? Because at that time, the reason they came out to talk about continuous integration is everyone get an idea was so cool. But what if you got something wrong? What if you have a bug, something crashes? That for Chrome project, that's a huge, billions of users are using it. Can you afford those kind of risks? That's why at that time, most of the big companies and big projects, they don't take the continuous integration because they're very afraid of that they can't deliver it correctly. They want to really test it well. They want to have a QA to verify before they really launch it. But nowadays, everyone is using it. If you go to the team and if the team doesn't use the continuous integration, that sounds very weird. Okay. But can anyone justify why today people start to pick up this one? How can you manage the risks? Yes.
Implement tests.
Tests.
Or one.
Yeah. So it turns out that people realize that if we push the teams to use continuous integration, and then everyone will start to be nervous because everyone know that if I don't test this thing well, this thing is gonna break, and that's gonna be a big impact. So as we were forcing the continuous integration, that raised the bar for the whole development team when they try to write the tests. Okay, that's why today every single change you do inside the big companies, you gotta write a really good test, a different level of test. And the test is not just unit test, but you go to the server. And then also you're not gonna go to production right away, right? You go, I told you there's something called alpha server and a beta server, and that is a production. And once your thing go to the alpha server, that's not facing the customers. You have another set of tests goes for that change, really verified in the environment. And then you go to the beta. Beta normally is a duplicate of the real server, like real database. And still you perform a lot of tests, make sure everything is fine. When that all of those are ready, it move on to the production. So that's actually a very big mindset change. If you never work in the old, you don't really see that change, but it was pretty difficult for the big teams to pick up this practice, just because how can we ensure the quality? But now people get used to it because it just means that the developers, you got to take care of the test and verification, which is actually a positive thing for the team because essentially you do need to write as much test as you can to make sure the project goes very well. And so that's a very good software engineering improvement. And today, any kind of project, people will ask you to set up a CSD pipeline. That basically means the continuous integration. Okay. So by this point, I have told you the whole cycle. Okay. So anywhere from you make the initial change, push the GitHub, manage your version, and then understand the server, how do you move there, deploy that, and then set up continuous integration. So ideal case, the reason I want to push so hard on this is that by the midterm, you have this pipeline set it up. And now the whole team just focus on making changes. And you can feel free to use the AIs, all of that, and that things go very quickly. So I'll update it. Okay. I want you to kind of experience that kind of development cycles. Okay, but now I realize that there's still a lot of work for you to do. Okay, you haven't even tried the server yet. Well, the things that I show you, I kind of show very quickly because I've done this many times. Okay, you just need to be patient. Try to understand every step. If you follow my demo, you kind of see the major things I'm trying to let you know. I try to break it down. Using AI is for sure is going to be very helpful, but you still need to know the major steps. Okay. And these are really professional stuff, guys. You can't learn this one from a regular software engineering course. Okay, so it's from the real industry. I'll guarantee this thing that you're gonna see in any kind of teams. 10 years ago, when our students actually graduated, came back, they would tell me many times that when they show to the interviewers that they done EC2, they even know continuous integration, that helps so much. Okay, because normally people don't expect undergrad student know this. This is very practical thing in the industry. Okay, but that's the purpose of the course. I promised you in the beginning that by doing the project, at least you can write a lot of extra things on your resume. For that section called skills and languages, besides just talking about Python, Java, C++, now you can start talking about continuous integration, GitHub Actions, all this web development technology for some technologies. Okay, but you gotta try this. Okay, take some actions, guys. Okay, these are the things that can helpful for your career. Okay. All right. Any questions? All right. I'll give you 1 week time next week. Okay, to work on this. I probably want to bring you guys to come back the week after for a demo. Okay, I want you to demo what you have built so far, and I also want you to demo, show me the pipeline you set up. Okay, I'll give you 1 week time. Okay, I'll put together assignments and then let you know. All right. Any questions? Are you guys still working on the lead code stuff, exercises? Yeah, that's good. Okay. Well, you keep it up. Very important. Okay. If you are a senior, this is like not a year to relax. Okay. Fight for your opportunities. Okay, guys. I will see you next time.